Now I'm going to share my minimal makeup tips, and so I'm wearing no makeup right now. I recommend starting out with whatever product you feel will make the biggest difference to your appearance, and for me it's lipstick or lip color. So I have a Au Naturel sheer lipstick. And one tip for lips is not to rub your lips together. So I used to be the type where I would just put lip balm or lipstick on one lip and then rub my lips together to spread it out and just have a light coverage. But that will actually stretch out your upper lip and cause it to like slowly fold under and look thinner and thinner. So now what I do is I put the color over both lips, and if I want to take any off, I make sure I have clean fingers, or sometimes like I'll use the part of my knuckle and then blot away any off with my, or spread it out with my finger instead. Next, I'm going to show my concealer, which comes in these tiny little sample pots. And it took me basically a year to use one, but I guess basically what I do is I have one in my main color, that if I had to choose just one color to use all over my face, if I were to do that, it would be this one, which is Tulum. And then I have two lighter colors, which I haven't used all of, but so I would say basically I used 2 or 3 of these. It took me more than a year. And then I finally reordered more makeup from them, and I did try their concealer stick, but you can see the stick was like $27 and the little pots are 5 for $15. And so I kind of think this is a better deal, and then you can mix and match colors. Although the stick is really convenient for like using under your eyes, which I'm gonna do because that makes a big difference for me. And then see how my lips are kind of doing this, but I'm doing that very intentionally because I'm not creating wrinkles when I do that. So don't be making like a sad face, or creating actual wrinkles. I was doing that very intentionally. If you need to open your mouth gently like this, if that helps you, or just become more conscious and just realize that you don't need to do anything special with your mouth when you're doing mascara or messing with your eyes. So that's concealer there. And the stick, I don't know if it's even worth the trouble, because what I do is I just make sure I have clean fingers. I wash my hands before, and I usually just use my fingers with the little pots. So this is my age spot. And one right there. I'm not doing a very good job with that one. And then sometimes I get a little shadowy here, so I would use the shade slightly lighter than this. So I would use that one right here to kind of counterbalance the darkness here. And this is their concealer, so a little bit goes a long way. And then if I have redness around my nose, I'll use it around here. And one other concealer tip, my nose is a little inflamed right now, I'm sorry. But if that ever happens to you and your nose is a little bit red, putting the concealer, see how I'm red right here, like just inside my nostril. So what I do is I put a little bit of concealer just inside the nostril, and that helps reduce that red look. And then I said I'm not wearing any makeup, but as you can see, my eyelashes have extensions on them. And hear me out on those. Eyelash extensions require glue, of course, to stick them onto your lashes, but the glue isn't touching your actual skin the way that strip lashes would do, where you'd be putting liquid glue right on your skin and you can smell that it's toxic and it's going being absorbed, the toxins are being absorbed right through your skin. And so I think if you're choosing between the two of them, these would be the less toxic option. Also, I feel that these make me look drastically better all the time, even without makeup. And so if you are in the same boat and having eyelash extensions allows you to feel like you don't need to wear any makeup at all, and so you're having a trade-off between just the eyelashes or a full face of makeup, then I would say this is the less toxic option. I don't plan on having these forever. These are for a special occasion, and I plan on just having them temporarily, and then I might try one of the DIY kits. One more thing about eyelash extensions is that in comparison to mascara and other eye makeup, it could be also a better choice when all things are considered, because mascara often irritates my eyes. Same thing with fake eyelashes, glue. I've gotten really bad allergic reactions to that. And when I have the eyelash extensions, I feel that I don't need any other eye makeup at all. And that has been so wonderful. I didn't realize how much I hated mascara until I didn't have to use it anymore. And now I never want to go back, and I never want to use fake lash strips ever again. So I'm wearing no other eye makeup, no eye makeup whatsoever. None on my eyelids, no eyeshadow, no eyeliner. And so that has saved me from doing a whole lot of other makeup. I also wanted to show, I can't believe I am doing a close-up video of myself putting on makeup and with no makeup. So there's no makeup on my forehead, and I never wear foundation on my forehead. I actually have never used liquid foundation since high school probably, and I still don't use any. And so anytime you see pictures of me, even when I'm like super glam, like I've done my own makeup at an event and such, like almost all of my photos, where I look, you can tell I'm wearing makeup, but there's actually none on my forehead. And you can see I don't have any like real, you can see like I sort of have like a tiny indentation here that was actually, I think, from when I burned my forehead a couple weeks ago with a curling iron. But I don't have static wrinkles anywhere. I can show you where I will get wrinkles. And we can talk about that a little bit later. Next, I'm going to put on a little bit of eyebrow powder, and eyebrows can make such a big difference in your overall look without being really obvious. Like, I don't think people would look at you and be like, oh gosh, her eyebrows either look really bad or really good. Eyebrows might be the thing that makes the biggest difference for your face. It can do wonders at making you look more awake and energetic. And I know that makeup experts recommend using a pencil instead, and doing like little short strokes to make it look like natural hairs. But I don't need much work for my eyebrows. So I just use a little bit of powder, but one tip is to make sure you go all the way to the ends of your eyebrows. You don't have to go past them because that can look awkward up close, but just make sure you get to the very edges, because that will help fill in this part of your face that people forget about as part of your overall look. If your eyebrows are too short this way, like they end here, then this part of your face will look too large proportionally. And this will help your eyes look more set apart and wide awake and open. And then the other tip is not to pluck your eyebrows too far this way. So don't like pluck off all this. Some people do this to try to make their eyes look farther apart, but really it just creates tiny eyebrows that throw off the proportions of your face, and it can actually make your eyes look even closer together. Next, I'm going to put on just a little bit of blush that helps me look not sick and like a little more awake and bright. And then For some reason, this lighting is making me look really shiny. And I don't always put on powder, but I'm gonna just put on a little bit of powder in the shiny areas. But if I'm like in a really big hurry, I usually don't use powder. And then when I have more time, if I'm not doing super minimal makeup, I do use contour, which I just discovered last year. I'm late to the boat on this one, but I do contour powder right here and a little bit on my jaw, and then under my chin here, because I do like at certain angles I'll get like a double chin peeking out here, just a tiny bit. It's just certain angles. And then sometimes I'll do a little bit up here at my hairline. I have tried to use natural things to encourage my real eyelashes to grow, but nothing has worked. I tried castor oil, which seems to work for some people, but didn't do anything for me. And then I also regrettably tried this product from Eclat, eyelash growth serum, and somebody asked me to look at the ingredients of it, and they looked pretty good, but not absolutely perfect. And the principles that I go by is I try to start with the extreme least toxic option, which I did, which was the castor oil. And this just had like one ingredient at the very end of the list that I try to avoid. Anyway, it was a low price, and I really did want to boost my natural eyelashes so I wouldn't have to use anything artificial, and this did not work at all. Also, my eyelashes are really straight and don't curl easily, so that really hinders my ability to boost my natural lashes.